I just want to say welcome. I couldn't write anything because every time I started writing, I could only write about 3 sentences and then I would get brain freeze. But I want to do something that is very new to me, so you have to give me a minute. Okay, we're gonna start here. Where's Doit? Doit, come join me, please.
Samuel Askedom.
They think they're Sammy. That's not Sammy. That's Doit Askedom. That's Sammy's dad. That's Ermias' dad. Okay, I know that we are all divine creatures. We are all divinity within. We don't need to look to the sky for a God. God is within. I have perfect peace. I am happy. I'm complete. I am strong. And if I can feel this way, so can you. We call on the Creator of everything and on Mother Earth who sustains us. We call on the energies who guide and protect us as we make our way in life. We call on our ancestors to join us at this service. Joseph Boutte, Reginald Boutte, Augustine Green, John Green,
Askedom, Gabriel, Gesai, Askedom, Masfin, Askedom, Alaset, Gabriel, and Alam Gertke.
Okay. And we ask those ancestors. Okay, first of all, I'm supposed to say Ashe. So call on the ancestors. So say Ashe. And now I pour libation to the ancestors. And we ask those ancestors of Ermias Joseph Askedom to keep him company on his journey. And we ask them to be there. I would ask that all of our ancestors guide and protect us and give us the gift of perfect peace. I pour libations, Ashe. Okay, that's what I do. I do what you do. Okay, I'm new to this, and I think that that's all. I hope that you get the understanding that we're calling those ancestors into the service. And so we are also asking for Ermias to have safe transit to his final resting place. And so when he reaches his resting place, we are also asking for these ancestors to greet him. We ask that Joseph Boutte, that Reginald Boutte, that Augustine Green, that
Askodom Gabriel, Gazai Askodom, Masfin Askodom, Amneset Gabriel, and Alam Gabriel.
okay, that they meet him also. Ashe. I want to tell you that I stand a witness that everything is in perfect and divine order. I want to encourage you to choose a vegan lifestyle. I want to encourage you to limit your use of alcoholic beverages and narcotic substances. I want to tell you that we come from royalty and regality. I want to tell you that we are very loving and kind and spiritual race of people. I want to tell you that we are very traumatized and we are very pressurized people. I want to tell you that I didn't have an easy life. My dad was a functional alcoholic. And since the time I was 5 years old, I had a lot of problems. And I knew that I was witnessing domestic violence, and I promised that I would never do that. I ended up marrying a man who abused me. And everything that damaged me damaged Ermias. I conceived Ermias on my birthday, November the 15th. He was born exactly 9 months to the date after I conceived him. Ermias was so close to me spiritually. I felt him coming. I knew that I was going to get pregnant on my birthday. And I did, and Ermias came. I had not slept for 2 weeks leading up to this event on Sunday. But the Spirit spoke to me on Sunday morning at 5:30 a.m. and had me ask, why is your spirit troubled? My mother called me and told me that she thought that there's a problem at the shop because Samuel had gotten up and run out of the house without saying a word. When I went there, I had perfect peace. When the police officer told me that the person had been shot was Nipsey Hussle, my spirit said, oh, that's it. Okay? So I just encourage, I never thought, I started going to an African spiritual science church, and that resonates with me. That resonates with me. It's called Carest, K-R-S-T. You can go online and listen to their archive podcasts, okay? Arias was he had such beautiful energy. He's intelligent. He's radiant. He's a superhero. I'm going to tell you a story. I was living as a single mother with the boys, and I just thought that I didn't need a man because I could make my own money. You know, I have bought my own house because Nana told me you could only move back in with me if you save your money and buy a house. So I learned how to change my oil. And I thought that I was just that one. And I got the right weight oil. I used a dipstick. I put the oil in the engine. And we drove from 60th and Rimpaw to Slauson, right across the street from Ladera Park near Windsor, Florence. And all of a sudden, smoke started coming out of my engine. My engine was on fire because I had forgotten to replace the cap on the oil receptacle. So the oil had spewed out all over my tubing, everything, and my engine was on fire. Do you know that Ermias did not hesitate? He was like 8, 9, or 10. He hopped out of the car. He ran all the way down the hill on Slauson in the middle of the street to the intersection of Slauson and La Brea, and there was a fire engine that was making a left-hand turn. The light turned from red to green, but I don't know how little areas commandeered their attention. They made a U-turn and came back and extinguished my fire. And do you know what? I was able to turn the car on and keep on driving. I didn't need to call AAA. Not a hose was busted. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's what I want to tell you guys now, okay? Our engine is on fire now. We're burning, but we're not destroyed. And just lastly, I want to say that Ermias was legacy. I feel as though, when we had our closure conversations, my mother and I are very intuitive. We have a knowing of the coming and the going of death. And so we knew that death was coming to our family. My mother and I, we discussed it many times. So many times that we discussed it in the presence of Khalil. And my mother said that she had been praying that God would take her because she was the last of 9 siblings. Her 4 brothers and her 4 sisters had predeceased her. My father is gone. My brother is gone. My mom said just about all her neighbors have passed on. So she said when she talks to God, she tells him, I've lived a good life. I'm not afraid of death. So whenever you're ready to take me, I'm ready to go. My mother was that was her message. She's a junior pack rat. And I'm a senior, she's a senior pack rat, I'm a junior pack rat. She's collected so much stuff in her house at her bedroom, you stub your toe just trying to walk from the door to her bed. So she said she's not going to sleep in her bedroom because the paramedics would have too hard of a time getting to her there. So Nana has actually been sleeping on the day bed in her dining room because she thought God was going to answer her prayer and take her first. But that was not God's divine perfect order, you see. He took Ermias. I think of Ermias, and I think that Ermias knew, and knew too. We knew too. He was the kind of person that he was very busy and, had a lot of things going on. And I would text him and he wouldn't answer all of my texts. And I would call him and he wouldn't answer all of my calls. But all of a sudden, Arius started texting me, "Hey, Mom, I love you. I'm just sending you some positive energy for your day. I hope that you have a beautiful day." I felt spiritually in my soul as if Arius was going to leave. And we had closure conversations through text messaging with one another. And I think that Arameus knew too, because Arameus was doing things differently. My mother said that Arameus was going to her house with Imani every morning on the way to drop Imani off at school. And he was bringing Imani a drink. He was bringing my mother a green drink. And he would tell my mom, "I love you, Granny." And he would give her a kiss, and he would tell her, "If there's anything you need, let me know." And I just told Arameus, I said, "Arameus, let me know." Now, this was a Saturday before he passed. I said, "Arameus, let me know if you need me to pull up on you with some good, nutritious food." And then I wrote salad, and I had the little salad emoji, because he tells me I should open up a salad restaurant. I could kill the game. He loved my salads. And then I just told him my heart. In my phone, Samuel's telephone number is saved under heart. And I said, "My heart feels as if there's possibly heaviness in your heart and soul." And in my phone, Arameus' contact is listed under soul. And Arameus says, "No, Mom, I'm A1. That's what he would always tell me. No matter what was happening, he always told me, "No, Mom, I'm A1," because he didn't want me to worry. Arameus was very stoic. Ever since a boy, pain did not faze him. He took it like a champ, And he says, "I'm grateful. I have a studio again. I'm just happy and ready to work." I'm very proud of my son. My son, Arameus Joseph Askedom, was a great man. On the past Christmas, I drove Arameus to an address on 6th Avenue on the other side of Southwest Drive, just a short distance from my mother's home, to drop him off and pick up some ATV type vehicles. Arameus was so happy and he felt so free riding the vehicles up and down 5th Avenue. And he told me, "Mom, this feels so great. I wish that I would have done this sooner." All of the cares of the world were lifted off of him for that moment in time. And his spirit was free, like a little child's spirit, right? Ermias liked thrilling rides at amusement parks. And so I'm not really sad because Spirit had already prepared me for that which was coming. I wish that Shell gas station would release the videotape of my interaction with the police officer when I went to the shop and he told me that the person who had been shot was Nipsey Hussle. I was in complete composure and total peace. See, because I have been walking to my spiritual drumbeat that whole weekend. I made my green drink, I made my vegan meal, I made my herbal tea. And I even sat down with my feet up on the chair across from me, and I was talking to my cousin on the telephone. And one of the last things that I said to her is, Belinda, the world that we live in is so wicked and evil. I feel so sad and I'm so troubled, and it's so very tragic that our children and our grandchildren are inhabiting this type of world. And I told her, I really don't know what the answer is. I really don't know. But I think that the only way to overcome the darkness is to be a light. We have to be the light of change that we want in the world. And then shortly after that, I got off the phone and I went to get dressed and everything. I took my shower, I got dressed, and I was bending down to get the blow dryer and the curling iron out of the bottom cabinet in my bathroom, just like this. I'm standing up. I'm coming in a position of ascension just as the telephone rang, and it was my mother calling. When death comes our way, my mother has a certain tone of voice, and it's frightening to me because I know that tone of voice means that death has come. And my mother asked, Angel, are you busy? In that tone of voice. For the first time in my life, that tone of voice did not frighten me. And I told her, oh no, Mommy, I'm not busy. I'm on my way. I'm just standing up from picking up the blow dryer and the curling iron. I'm on my way to your house. And she said, well, something has happened at the shop. You see, I already felt like I was in the right place. I was ascending, okay? I have ascended, okay? You have to find a way to ascend also. And that's all I can say. I just thank you. I feel like when I was a little girl and you would read the story tales that there's a king and there's a castle and there's royalty, and they're having a celebration, and they invite people from lands far apart and wide to come into their kingdom and to celebrate with them. And I just thank you. I'm honored. And I know that if Ermias can look down on us, that he's very honored also. He's very humble. And I'm just glad that the legacy of love that my mother started and that she passed on to me, that I passed on to my son. And since he was in the public arena, that he passed some of the love in his heart into the love that's in your hearts. So let's water the seeds of love that Ermias displayed to you, that you know that you have planted in your heart. Let's water that love and let it grow. And what I was going to say, one last thing, and I'll let you go. I did get a little teary-eyed when I laid down about the third night after Ermias had made his transition. And I started to cry because I was thinking about, I could never be in Ermias's electromagnetic ray field. He had an aura around him that if you sat with him, it gave you power and energy. It like filled up your spiritual tank. So that when I left and went to work and whatever, I was in the world for the next week, he had left something with me. And so I'm sad. I was sad that I wouldn't have that anymore. And then I thought about my son knows the secret to the mystery of life. How thrilling is that? How thrilling is that? He liked thrilling, fast rides, ATVs, and all that. I'm like, how do we move around when we're on the other side in the spiritual realm? I'm sure that Ermias is loving it there. I think it's like Pirates of the Caribbean ride. It's dark, and I always wanted to get out and get the jewels out of the treasure chest. So when I think of death from the perspective of Ermias, it doesn't hurt, you see, because the ego is what hurts us. So when we can get me, I, my, and mine out of our thinking and think about, what is the other person feeling? What is the other person thinking? What is the other person experiencing? What is the situation all about in its fuller spiritual context?